Okay, we are making carrot cake today. We are starting with a large bowl and we're adding 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. In this, we're adding 2 teaspoons of baking soda. To that, we're adding a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. And the next thing is we're adding sugars. We are going to do 1 cup of granulated sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. And always pack your brown sugar into your cup measure so you get the right amount. Okay, going to mix this up. And then we're adding our liquids. So the next thing we're adding is 4 eggs. And we're adding 1.25 cup of oil. Two teaspoons of vanilla. So this is our base, and what we're going to do next is we're mixing it up with our electric mixer. Be careful that you don't splash it everywhere. Start on low, work your way up, and we don't want to overmix it just until it's nice and combined. Okay, so we mixed up our base, and what we're going to do next is we're going to shred some carrots, add our raisins, and also add a small can of pineapple. That's kind of our little secret sauce here to make it nice and juicy. We need 3 cups of shredded carrots, and we're going to shred some carrots. So I already put some in my food processor. And always keep your station clean. And let's see, we have cup number 3. Okay, that is in our bowl. So we have our carrots. Now we need half a cup of raisins. If you're not a fan of raisins, you don't have to add them, but I like raisins. And I like to just kind of break them apart a little bit. It also helps it make it nice and moist. So we have our raisins, and then we're adding 1 cup of chopped up nuts. So you can use walnuts, pecans, you could use hazelnuts if that's what you have, whatever you have. And if you only want to use half a cup, that's fine too. That is really up to you. I like to add as many nutritions to this cake as possible. So there we go. And then we have a small can of our little chopped up pineapple. Okay. And now we're gonna mix it all up. Okay, so make sure that you scrape the bottom of the bowl. Make sure there's no dry ingredients. It's nice and it's all combined and ooey and gooey. And I'm going to leave this right here on my counter. And I am going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees, clean up my counters and my ingredients, and then prepare the baking pans, and then we're going to divide it up, and we'll talk about what size pans and all that stuff right after. Okay. Hello? Anybody there? I'm using 4 6-inch round pans so that I can make a lot of cake. I'm going to make 2 cakes this time with 2 layers each, and that way I can have one for my family and I can give one away. You can also use 3 9-inch or 3 8-inch round pans. It really is up to you. Just make sure 3/4 full and no fuller, otherwise you're going to have a smoky oven because all of your batter is going to leak out. We're going to prepare the pans, and the best pencil, whatever you have, doesn't matter. I like to fold my parchment paper over, and then I take my baking pan, I place it on top, and I will trace the outside diameter. Okay, I will trace the outside of my pan, right? And then I'm going to fold it over because I only want to do this one time. And you can even do it like this. And then we're just going to cut inside of this line because we want these to be just a tad bit smaller. And even if they turn out a little wonky, I'll show you, it still works beautifully. You don't have to waste any parchment paper. Don't have to be making it super pretty, but look, these are not full circles, but they still perfectly work. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to grease these pans just a little bit. I use the spray and just a little bit, and then I'm going to take my fingers, because I don't want this to like really like swim in a lot of oil, since there is already a lot of oil in there. So just use your fingers, rub the oil around the edges a little bit, and then you can place your parchment paper rounds right inside. This keeps your cake from sticking to the pan. It makes getting it out later so much easier. Never ever do you have to worry about a cake not turning out. Okay, so we have our pans, and now we're going to fill our batter. And then we're just going to ladle it in there. I like to scrape out my cup measure on the outside and the edges. Don't want to waste any of it. And then once you're down to like the bottom of your bowl, just use your spatula. You can lift up and then just take a look at your pans. The pans are not evenly, it's not evenly distributed. This one has a little bit more than this one. This one has a little bit more than that one. So I'm just going to even it out, right? Because the more even they are, the prettier the layer they are. And you can go as far as weighing it, but you know, we don't have to be that exact. And then just take a look at your pans. The pans are not evenly, it's not evenly distributed. This one has a little bit more than this one. This one has a little bit more than that one. So I'm just going to even it out, right? Because the more even they are, the prettier the layer they are. And you can go as far as weighing it, but you know, we don't have to be that exact. It is a beautiful moist cake. And a little trick is to take a look at your cake pans. And if you have a little drip like this, just wipe it off now, so that when it bakes, it doesn't bake on your cake pan. And then you have crusty cake bits on your cake pan. Okay, so we're waiting for our oven to preheat. In the meantime, I'm going to wash my dishes. Okay, so these cakes, in the 6-inch, about 25-30 minutes, and 9-inch, 30 to 35 minutes, 8-inch, about 30 to 35 minutes as well. So just keep an eye on it, test it after about 20-25 minutes with a toothpick inserted. When it comes out clean, we're good to go, and we let it cool. So get those cakes in the oven.